I was sitting at around almost 70 credits. I never took a single college course. Hey, I'm Lieutenant Christian Loos. I've been in the Army going on 11 years now. I'm commissioning from ROTC. I did the Green to Gold Active Duty Option Program. I started out at Fort Campbell. I was driver, gunner, TC, team leader. I went to Korea and I was in the S3. I was an assistant operations sergeant and team leader. And then I did a little time in JBLM Washington. Was a team leader again, squad leader, platoon sergeant. And then I was a recruiter for a little while. I recruited Catholic priests, chaplains. Out in recruiting, I got a lot of time to think, and I just wanted transition. I was at a point in my career, I just had a lot of great people around me, had a lot of good mentors, and that allowed me to excel very quickly. So I was able to get my Sergeant First Class very soon, and I felt like I was at the pinnacle already, and I still had a lot of time left in my career. That was a major leading factor to my transition. And then family as well. When I was out in recruiting, I got a lot of family time, and I kind of wanted to keep that.
Yeah.
Especially with my kids and just watching them grow and develop. It was good. I didn't get too much of that out on the line. So yeah, I was doing some browsing around looking for new jobs. I even considered being a full-time recruiter. That didn't work out for me because I was promotable. And they just weren't grabbing any more in the promotable rank. I looked into warrant officer, and I actually started that process. But then as that process was going on, I was in my living room drinking coffee and reading a newspaper. It's called The Sound Off. It's a post newspaper, and I seen a Green to Gold ad. And something was telling me just to look into it and call that number. So I called the number. It was a recruiting operations officer at some local school that was out in near my recruiting station, and one thing led to another. That was it, man.
During our conversation together, we were able to get up, walk around a little bit, especially because Fort Jackson is not just the home of the Adjutant General School, but it's also the home of the Chaplain School. And since Lowe spent a great deal of his time recruiting chaplains, he was able to walk down memory lane. But then we continued to talk about Green to Gold.
Yeah, so just around the back here, I was meeting up with a few of the chaplains I recruited a couple weeks ago. This is where they go for BOLIC, or they call it CHBOLIC, just Chaplain Basic Officer Leaders Course. We got a memorial up here over on our left, and then you'll see a few other memorials as we walk through here.
During this part of our conversation, we transitioned over to talking about something that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time during this series, and that is the JST, or the Joint Service Transcript. So let's talk about that for a little bit, and let's see how it can benefit you. I was talking to an old sergeant of mine, and he actually got accepted into the Green to Gold program this year. So congratulations, you know exactly who you are. But this leads to one of the biggest misconceptions of the Green to Gold program, and that is that you already have to have 60 credits. Some people believe that you have to have your associate's degree before you can even start your application. Talk about that.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, just like I said, from my experience, I didn't have any college courses or credits at all when I dropped my packet for Green to Gold. I actually didn't do my first college course until I was in the Green to Gold program and in that college seat. You don't need any credits. You just need to reflect that you're going to have such and such credits by the time that you're in that college seat, which is a year from your application date.
So talk about that for a little bit, like some of the classes, the trainings that you were actually able to transfer over onto your JST.
BLC, what's known now, ALC, SLC, and so on and so forth. Some specialized courses like Battlefield Forensics, Lean Six Sigma, Master Resiliency, Master Driver, plenty of courses to go around, Facilitator, Instructor. There's so many courses that will add on to your Joint Service Transcript, and that's what I use to apply for Green to Gold Active Duty Option. I sent my Joint Service Transcript into a local school. That school evaluated it. I didn't end up going to that school, but they gave me a lot of credits, so I was like, oh, this might be right. But that initial school is what went into my application for Green to Gold. And I was sitting at 75 credits or so.
Wow.
But I went out to training during phase 1 of the application. When I came back, my family told me, hey, we want to go back home. So we decided to move from where I was originally going to go to school, and I went out to Louisville. During that process, I had them reevaluate my joint service transcript. They didn't give me as many credits, but I was sitting at around almost 70 credits. I never took a single college course. I've always tried to throughout my career, but I didn't get around to it. I was always in a level higher than I was supposed to be, and just continuously trying to catch on. So I didn't get the college that I wanted, but the Army gave it to me. It's pretty crazy. They gave me 2 years. I didn't have to do any of the Common Core and a lot of the electives I skipped out on. I also went through the college level exam preps, and I knocked out a lot of those on my free time, and that set me up to just do my major courses.
Thank you so much for doing this. This guy's about to go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Okay? You're about to go to Hawaii, man. How you feeling? How you feeling?
Feeling good. That's the dream right there. I'm staying away from the cold. That's what I want.
Yes, man. Good for you. Good stuff.
All right, man.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Absolutely.
See you next time. Keep leading.
Being an officer is not for everybody. We need great NCOs out there too. I would just charge everyone, if they're thinking of some type of transition in their career, this is a good opportunity. Just with that, you don't necessarily have to be 100% I want to be an officer, but you can apply, and then there's that little between phase 1 and phase 2, you're going to get an offer letter. With that offer letter, you can either accept the program or deny it. You've still been selected as an to be an officer into the Green to Gold program. However, you don't have to continue forward. What you can do with that NCOs, you can put it on your NCOER as a good bullet, and then just carry on. Maybe officer's not the right path for you, but you put something good on your resume, and that gives you the opportunity to go forward with it later in your career if you want to.